and interesting times, this week's stories. The Getty Fire forces thousands of Southern Californians from their homes. North Texans deal with the aftermath of 9 tornadoes. Shatter the Silence Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Awareness Walk brings together Maryland communities. Plus, Richmond families celebrate cultural diversity at the annual World Festival. This is Eagle News Weekend Edition, broadcasting from Washington, D.C., bringing you stories from around the globe. I am Eliza Gonzalez, Manglikmont. Thousands have been forced to evacuate their homes due to the Getty Fire in Southern California. Eagle News correspondent Eva Basalaje spoke to some evacuees. Here's a look back.
As of early Tuesday afternoon, the 656-acre Getty Fire has forced over 7,000 residents from their dwellings.
I had two phone calls come in on Monday at 3 a.m. and each one said, prepare to be evacuated. And then the last one, another message came in a few minutes later saying, evacuate now. I live alone, and I got dressed, which a lot of people forget to do. They just run out the door.
Just scared, you know? Scared. I always thought that when there was a fire, I have a high-pressure hose and high-pressure water thing, you know. I said, I'll stay and spray the home, but when I saw those flames like 200 feet up in the air, forget about the home, you know. It was always there, you know, the threat was always there. So I was always aware that the neighborhood could blow up, you know. I mean, we had fires that were a few miles away many times, you know. This one got a lot closer, though. It was, I don't know, it was hard to tell. Like, it was up 200 feet over the mountain where I live. But I think it was a couple of miles, maybe a couple of miles from the house, you know. But it was closer than anything we had before.
Evacuated to the Westwood Recreation Center, residents forced from their homes due to the Getty Fire are bracing for elevated fire danger due to Santa Ana winds that are expected to gust as strong as 80 miles per hour in higher elevations.
That's life. I think I was thinking that our motto right at this moment might as well be waiting for the wind, because we can't tell what we're going to do next until we see the wind and see what it does.
Yeah, the best quote I heard was from, I can't even remember who said, but someone said it's the price you pay for living in paradise. So that might be pretty close. It's pretty nice here.
With the fire at only 15% containment, American Red Cross was on hand to provide disaster relief.
Red Cross is providing a place to stay with a dormitory, meals. Anyone has any injuries, we have our nursing staff and medical staff as well. Basically, we're here to provide comfort and hope for those in need whenever a disaster of this type does occur. We've seen more wildfires in California, whether it's an earthquake or a wildfire or a flood anywhere in the country. You can always be assured that you're going to have a Red Cross organization, a chapter, and volunteers ready to deploy anywhere in the country to help those when the need arises.
Red Cross has been wonderful. They've had public health people here. If you had any problems, you could get some help. It's just wonderful, and there are lots of volunteers.
I've never met such charitable people, you know, just do everything for you. It's unbelievable is what it is, really.
Ready, Set, Go is the evacuation preparedness program of the Los Angeles Fire Department. With the escalating occurrences of wildfires, this campaign has become a way of life for Californians. In Westwood, California, Eva Basalaje, Eagle News, 1 with 25.
Thanks, Eva. Meanwhile, North Texans deal with the aftermath of 9 tornadoes that ravaged the region Sunday. Eagle News correspondent Nenita Manawis reports.
North Texas, residents are dealing with the aftermath from 9 tornadoes that tore through the region Sunday, causing extensive property damage and power outages for more than 100,000. On October 20th, the National Weather Service reported 9 tornadoes, ranging from level E0 to E3. 2 appeared in Ellis County, another 2 were found in Kaufman County, and 5 more impacted the Dallas area, which included the cities of Rockwall, Rowlett, Wills Point, Garland, and the Dallas Love Field Airport area, with winds reaching a maximum of 135 miles per hour. The twisters caused an estimated $2 billion worth of property damage, according to the Insurance Council of Texas. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson stated in a news conference that although the storm went across a densely populated part of the city, we should consider ourselves very fortunate we didn't lose any lives, no fatalities, and no serious injuries. Emergency officials spent hours ensuring no one was trapped and received 50 calls for downed utility wires, 40 calls for gas leaks, and 105 traffic lights without power. Encore Electric reported Monday roughly 112,000 customers were without power. The Dallas Independent School District tweeted 6 schools canceled classes due to the damage to the campuses. Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration for 16 counties. Local authorities warned residents to be alert at intersections and to avoid structures that might be dangerous. Mayor Johnson stated that while the city is dealing with property damage, the top priority is making sure that everyone in the city is safe. Stay tuned to Eagle News for the latest updates. Reporting from Dallas, Texas, I'm Nanita Manawis, always one with 25.
Thank you, Nanita. Coming up, Shatter the Silence Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Awareness Walk brings together Maryland communities. Eagle News Weekend Edition will return shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Eagle News Weekend Edition. I am Eliza Gonzalez in Manglikmont. Victims, families and friends of victims, and all those who wish to offer support join the annual Shatter the Silence Walk against domestic violence and sexual assault. Here's the story. For several years now, every October, a group of law enforcers in Maryland gathers members of the community for an awareness walk to battle domestic violence. Dubbed Shatter the Silence, this annual walk reaches out to victims of violence at home by letting them know help is available to them. All they need to do is to come forward and speak up.
Domestic violence touches everyone's lives. It doesn't discriminate. Age, gender, nationality, socioeconomic status, it doesn't matter. Domestic violence and sexual assault is an epidemic in our community, and we have to stop it. So, as a part of law enforcement, in a non-enforcement capacity, we felt that it was important to show our community the support that they need, and we collaborated with the hospital and churches, and as a result of that, we have a group of wonderful people coming together to show their support to survivors.
This event is very close to my heart. It's exactly what our shirt says, Shatter the Silence. With domestic violence being something that people are ashamed of and don't want to talk about, is very prevalent in our community. And we want to have a safe place here where we have resources, where you can come and you can get help. You have people here who have been directly impacted and indirectly impacted, and people who just want to be here for you and support the cause.
So Maryland is one of the higher ranking states for domestic violence for men and women, and we take it very serious.
Because a lot of people think that they have to be silent about the things that happen, not only domestic violence, but sexual assault as well. So this is to shatter the silence. to get rid of the stigmatism that people think that are attached to those two things. We want people to come forward. We want people to be safe, and that's what this is about. As law enforcement officers, as females, we want them to know that it's not a division. We want to be there to help them, and we want to be a part of everything, and we understand and we sympathize.
Is that it raises awareness. It brings awareness to all of the people who were here and all the people who are paying attention to this. And that makes them a little more interested in getting involved or being aware of things that are going on, maybe helping people out. It also helps people be aware of services that are available for them here in the county. Ours is one. We're a hospital-based sexual assault center, domestic violence center, and so we are able to provide services from the hospital, but there are other organizations as well, and so it makes people more aware of the services around them.
And when we talk about domestic violence, we're really talking about intimate partner. We're talking about relationships, children are involved, and so we're affecting multi-generations a lot of times when these occurrences occur. And I believe personally, from my perspective, it's so important now that I know, witnessed it myself, working with this wonderful organization, working with our partners, I'm now able to tell other generations, my sons who are now men who are in relationships, we can tell our children what to look for in healthy relationships.
And when we learned about this activity sponsored by the National Park Police, it encouraged us to extend help, at least raise awareness concerning this issue, because we know this is a very delicate issue, especially here in this part of the world. And at least the brethren will be aware, and it will encourage even the other members of the community to join in and at least prevent things from happening, especially for me. For example, I have my kids too. I don't want them to be victims to these acts of violence. So the Church of Christ, through the approval of our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, were allowed to join such an activity.
To shatter the silence of domestic violence, one needs to know there is support out there. Reporting from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, I am Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot for Eagle News, 1 with 25. When we come back, Richmond families celebrate cultural diversity at the annual World Festival. Eagle News Weekend Edition will return shortly. Stay with us. And we're back. This is Eagle News Weekend Edition coming to you from Washington, D.C. I am Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot. It was a cultural celebration for families and friends at the annual Richmond World Festival. Eagle News correspondent Kathleen Cruz with the details.
On its fifth year of celebrating significant cultural diversity, this year's 2019 Richmond World Festival has done it again. The two-day free family event has attracted over thousands of attendees, offering a jam-packed celebration of music, food, culture, and sports.
Just allows people to come and experience different cultures in terms of, dance or music and arts, and then the food aspect. You could try different foods from around the world. It also allows people just to interact and talk to each other and learn a little bit more about each other's background. In terms of tourism, we definitely have a regional draw, and people definitely come from outside of Richmond and beyond, specifically for the festival.
This international event highlights the cultural harmony and inclusiveness in Richmond.
We have a large exhibitor and cultural pavilion zone. We have pavilions from Russia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, and Africa that are well represented. You could experience, different artisans and henna painters, a lot of great things. We have over 60 food trucks here this year. We have a culinary stage where we have chefs doing cooking demonstrations. You get to sample the food after. And then, of course, it's really about music. And with over 130 performers over the 2 days on 8 stages.
The showcase of culture is well represented in the event, as seen in a variety of food trucks serving international flavors from European to Middle Eastern to Asian. Who would forget the classic fare foods such as poutine, corn dogs, hot dogs, mac and cheese, and deep-fried desserts for everybody to enjoy. Foodies are also invited to drop by at the culinary stage. Fairgoers can also enjoy the Global Village and Bamboo Theater, offering diverse and innovative performances from different ethnicities, plus the other free activities.
You can go into the Minner Arena where we have the Antarctic Zone, and you can put on skates or play boom ball and skate around and get cool. We have the Kids Zone and lots of great activities there, and there's lots of different crafts and cultures.
From Vancouver, Canada, Kathleen Cruz, Eagle News, 1 with 25.
Thanks, Kathleen. And that is this week's Eagle News Weekend Edition. Join us again next time for stories from our bureaus across the nation and around the globe. Visit our websites at eaglenews.net and eaglenewslive.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/eaglenews and on Facebook at facebook.com/eaglenews. Thank you for watching. I am Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot, 1 with 25. Happy weekend.